Hello and welcome to the fourth and final part of the Utica Home Track Series Royal Rumble. Next up on track is Eris Shock, who's been very antsy in the infield to get onto the racetrack. She's been waiting for a chance to run well here today at the Snowstorm Speedway in Nome, Alaska. Now this 33 car was driven by Hunter Xander last year, but due to Xander's retirement, Eris Shock was given the rest of the schedule to drive that number 33. And proved herself worthy of driving it, so now she's going to be running the full schedule, and Nikki Allen is eliminated. We're getting the call. The 08 car drifted off the track in turn 1. It's going to save it, but that car is out of the race. As we go down the street, Dom Capps is also out. He tried to make a pass, and it's not going to work, and that's a real shame for Dom Capps. As wait a second, he's going to make an elimination of his own as Michael Aurelio, car number 93, is eliminated from this race. And Michael Aurelio, we were thinking was going to be one of the top favorites. Make it to the end, one of the newer ones. He was battling with Kenablez all this while, and unfortunately it's going to be cut short. Same for Dom Capps. Now we follow Eris Shock again. Now Eris Shock, the last car for the Finn Guy group, so this is their last chance to make it to the end. Now, this group of cars that's just been on track is actually the largest group of cars we've had. I believe 8, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm not. 8 cars on track. So it's a very crowded group up there, and you see a lot of jostling for positions between Dunlap, Shock, McMahon, Allen, and Yankee, though Allen is out of this event. So unfortunately the Allen Motorsports crew are not going to be able to win this Rumble, while the rest of them still have a shot. Now there's Eris Shock running high above Nikki Allen. This is where the big battle is, as Julian Kenablez is pretty much left alone out front. These cars are really running close-knit pack, and whoa, McMahon and Shock almost going crashing, and Shock riding the edge of the racetrack. So we'll have to see how they do here. Nikki Allen's going to make the pass on the inside, who though is out of this race, it looks like she's just using the rest of it for a practice session. This is one of the few opportunities these drivers have to go testing before the season starts. This is one of the best places to have pack racing. So they're going to take full advantage of this. They've never had anything like this before, other than single tests outside of just on their own accord. Here we go, the battle between Shock and Allen here, which I don't think they should be racing so aggressively, since Allen technically can't win this. It would be useless for Shock to try and eliminate the 08 car. But following close behind is that unsponsored number 07 of David Yankee, right up on the back bumper of Eris Shock. Very close, and here we go in the turn. Allen's going to check out, he's going to send Eris Shock off the racetrack. David Yankee's going to run to the top of that, and that's unfortunate. This is the final lap at the very end of the race, and it looks like Eris Shock is going to be the 4th car eliminated in this round as they come to the finish line. But wait a second, what's she doing? What's she doing? She's going to turn Nikki Allen around. Car number 08X has slid to the top of there, and a violent flip as car number 08X is wrecked after the race by Eris Shock. It looks like we have a rivalry on our hands. We'll have to see how this plays out. Now, we've got reports that Nikki Allen has secured sponsorship for the next race by Home Depot, and they're going to change that car number to the 81. This is the only race she'll be running that. Now, in the next round, Dylan White, car number 11, the Toyota, one of 4 here today, as I mentioned, and one of 2 on track. There's 1 Toyota left to go. That's Prince Littlejohn, who comes up later in this event. We'll have to see when. Now, Dylan White ran last season in the number 24 AARP Chevy with mild success. One of his best runs was at Indianapolis, his debut start. He's been looking to find that same level of success again. He's had a couple of okay runs throughout the rest of the year, but nothing to write home about. He's hoping he can do better this year with a Toyota, and that's a very sharp-looking Monster Energy number 11 as David Yankee almost veers off course in that unsponsored number 07. Now, Dylan White, he's on an unsponsored team, White Motorsports, building their own car. They got their own small shop, and they're hoping to make a name for themselves in this business. The number 11 car running very well today so far, at the top of the pack in his debut round. Now, we also saw Dylan White in the Utica Rallycross Series, running for the Benoit Motorsports team, and last year he was running for Skinner Motorsports, but they have pulled out their rides. So Dylan White, I expect to do a lot of great things out of this driver. He's a very nice driver, and it's great to have on the track. Now we look back at David Yankee. He's trying to prove himself. That car is unsponsored for Bristol as of currently. He's looking for sponsorship from anyone or anything. So So whenever he gets an offer, it'll be on the car. But at the current moment, he's got sponsor me written on the front, kind of like Scott Speed sees the sponsorship ride in the Sprint Cup Series. Yankee is battling with Brock McMahon in that number 44 car as they run down that front straightaway. Now David Yankee's really trying to show how much power this team has. He got a win last season at Mosport, which in Canada, the Yankees seem to really dominate there. Samantha Yankee and David Yankee are the only two drivers to ever win at Mosport in the home track series. Maybe this year that could be broken by another driver. We'll have to see when we get to that race. But David Yankee, the 07 car, running well today as we look back to Julian Kenablez Jr., who is not doing well this round at all. Pardon me. Julian Kenablez Jr. was running really well for the most of his appearances, usually leading, but this round he's been kind of scaled back. He's running back there with McMahon and Dunlap. Now Kenablez is on a mission. He's trying to last as long as he can. I believe he's either close to or beating Seth Cole, so congratulations to Julian Kenablez Jr. on his great performance today. That 45 car has really been running around the racetrack with great speed. And hopefully he can make the Bristol race as well. He should if he has this kind of speed there as he does here. Well, we're finishing off this round as coming to the line. Looks like no eliminations for round 44. Let's be our next driver. Now here is Tyler Benoit, one of the bigger names in the sport, the Benoit Motorsports team. Now he made a risky move last year by allowing Matt Evans to be up for free agency. He decided to make his Benoit Motorsports completely of the Benoit family. We'll have to see how he does today. And this is a new car. Last year he was the Sketch Center machine, and this is the Nike machine this time. So we'll have to see how well Tyler Benoit does. He's already off to a great start, leading in the Royal Rumble. Now Tyler Benoit has 2 wins under his belt. One came at Indianapolis in 2011, and he won in 2012 at Bristol, which is going to be the race coming up. So he's hoping he can repeat that success this year. We've not had a single driver sweep an event, just a family, which is the Yankees, as we mentioned earlier. So Tyler Benoit, hoping he can do well. We look back in the pack. There's Brock McMahon, Adam Dunlap, and Dylan White battling. As close call for Dylan White. And it's not going to be close enough. Dylan White's going to get shoved off the racetrack by Dunlap and McMahon. Dunlap making some aggressive moves on the outside. The inside. Really just shoving up against the 44 car, trying to eliminate both him and Dylan White. McMahon stays on track, however, in the Tanker Motorsports Dodge. Now, Brock McMahon last year ran half the season in car number 94 with this same sponsorship. And Brock McMahon was kind of under the radar last year. We didn't hear much about him. Maybe this year he can put a spark into his career and get some notice on track. And right now he's getting a good amount of screen time. This is some of the most screen time we've ever given him since Myrtle Beach. So Brock McMahon making sponsors proud in that number 44 machine. His team owner, Alex Tanker, is yet to go up on track as we focus on Dylan White, who is eliminated. But, like most drivers, he's kind of running the remaining laps like it is a practice run. We got contact between Dunlap and McMahon has been eliminated. Oh, and that's a shame for the 44 car. He's hoping to do well for the Tanker Motorsports team, but luckily, Alex Tanker is yet to go out. So we'll have to see when he comes on track and if he can win it for the team. There is Adam Dunlap, car number 67, the Video Games Awesome Toyota, running with the 2 eliminated cars, both of which were Adam's eliminations. And a close call there, but we focus on Julian Kenablez Jr., who's trying to race against David Yankee. Neither of them are as quick as Tyler Benoit in the number 3 car, which has dominated this event, and it's starting to become the new Kenablez, as Kenablez has kind of dropped off from his earlier performances. As Tyler Benoit comes down to the line, we begin to end round 45 of the Rumble, and we add one more driver to the mix. Who will it be? Let's find out. Brendan Patterson, which is one of those very new faces. I've not seen him before, but he's running with the Duncan Motorsports team, and he's running the limited schedule. He's running only speedways, and Connor Atwood's going to drive for the road courses. This is a speedway, so Brendan Patterson's going to be running, and contact with Julian Kenablez Jr. and already Brendan Patterson is out, so not a very long run for the 84 machine as Adam Dunlap goes off track as well. So 2 eliminations already. And it's going to be a shame for both those drivers who really wanted to get to the end here. Well, let's focus on Brendan Patterson since we didn't get too much to talk about. The Red Bull machine. Red Bull moved over from Trek Togger's car to this more road race oriented team. William Duncan's going to be running the full schedule in the 83 car, and he's going to allow Connor Atwood and Brendan Patterson to split this car, as I mentioned. Now, neither are locked in to the Bristol race, so we'll have to see if Brendan Patterson can make the team proud and get that car in on the qualifier race. Should be an exciting qualifier race. It actually would be the largest qualifier race we've ever had in the Utica Home Track Series. I don't know exactly how many cars are on the entry list right now, but we'll have to see when we get to Bristol. As Brendan Patterson driving a pretty solid run so far, other than being eliminated. He's trying to get some practice in, maybe help for Bristol. Tyler Benoit's at the front of the pack with Julian Kenablez Jr. running very close behind. So Kenablez has really improved between the 2 rounds. You are allowed to make adjustments to your car. They may have to do that for the 45, as I believe weather conditions have changed since the beginning of the day. It's been a long day. A lot of the drivers are pretty tired, and well, except for the ones that have been waiting around. They've just been kind of bored or kind of laying around. They're not satisfied with just watching the race. They want to be in it and driving it. And currently, Tyler Benoit, Julian Kenablez, and the rest on track are driving. So some of them are going to stop now, as Adam Dunlap and Brock McMahon were both eliminated. We head back to David Yankee, who's running back with Brendan Patterson, as Brendan Patterson makes a move to the inside. Now David Yankee, we mentioned a lot, searching for that sponsor. And at the current moment, he's kind of fallen back. He's not really running as competitively as he was earlier. It could be the changing weather conditions. But the 07 car, very admirable of this car to be doing so well here today. Staying on track and keeping out of trouble. At the current moment, he's riding kind of high in the last turn before we get to the straightaway. Just needs to make sure he can get to the line. Brendan Patterson seems to be giving him a lot of room. Doesn't want to eliminate him. So even though this is a rumble, we do have some sort of moral code here. 2 cars are out, and let's add 1 more to the fray. Here is the final member of the Benoit clan. It's Justin Benoit, who is, of all the Benoits, has absolutely no racing experience. This is actually his first time on track. So we'll have to see how well he handles this number 22 car. And I shouldn't say that. I should say his first time on track with a pack around him. He's done some testing work, but not on a track of this magnitude. So it's going to be a real skill test for him as he runs up against David Yankee and almost sends himself and the 07 car off the racetrack. Now the 22 car is the Star Wars machine, and he's hoping to do well for himself here today. Tyler Benoit got rid of one of his best drivers for him, so Justin Benoit really needs to set the bar high with some good runs. Now he is not locked into Bristol, just like his father Brian, but both of them are trying to make it for that race. Now this is a really nice 22 car Chevy, and also I'm not sure if you can see it, but on the back bumper there's a picture of Jar Jar Binks just to taunt the driver behind him. Though I assume with that in mind, a lot of drivers are going to be ramming that back bumper. I'm not sure if it's a good idea in hindsight, but it's a very nice painted car, and I like the Star Wars franchise a bit. So Justin Benoit running around track and running awfully close to Julian Kenablez Jr. in that 45 car, trying to make a pass there, but David Yankee getting a little advantage from behind, trying to pass to the outside. We take a look at Justin's younger brother, Tyler, who is the only member of the Benoit family with wins and more than 1 start. And he continues to lead this pack, and Tyler Benoit, a great driver. He's just looking for more wins. He's kind of in a rivalry now with Matt Evans, see who can get the most wins. Criminal and Matt Evans obviously has that with 6, which is unbelievable compared to the rest of the wins in the sport. The most anyone else has, other than the 6 Matt Evans has, there's a couple people with 3 wins, like Curie, Yankee, Camiso, and Bob Sadino. And the Yankee, I mean Samantha Yankee. but the 3 car. Running well right now, going around the track, and it looks like this round people are kind of taking it a little bit easier. They don't want to go eliminating each other all just yet. They want to see if they can build up their numbers before they do it. You can see Kenablez is kind of trailing behind Benoit. We know Kenablez can run a little faster, but he doesn't really want to risk anything this round. He wants to make the long haul. Benoit and Yankee, Justin Benoit and David Yankee, have lost these 2 drivers. So it should be smooth sailing as they head the final turn and down the back straightaway. Here we go, across the line. Car number 3 is going to win the segment, but let's add another car to the rumble. Let's see who that will be. Speak of the devil, it's the Black Mamba, Matt Evans. Matt Evans is going to be really trying his best here. He was I believe the 3rd place runner for the championship last year. Was so close, but troubles in Myrtle Beach really cost him. It's a shame, he had such a great year. 2nd year in a row he was unable to win the championship despite winning a good amount of races. Now the battle is going to be between him and Tyler Benoit. Now it's going to be kind of odd seeing Matt Evans on Sydney at Motorsports. It's also kind of odd seeing this paint scheme. We're not used to him being in the hand cook machine. This is a new paint scheme that's going to run at all of the oval tracks, but don't fear for anyone who liked the car from last year. He will still be running the Bethesda car at road courses. There's also a slight rumor that he might run a Black Mamba paint scheme. We'll have to see if he actually does it. But that should be fun to see. As we have 3 wide, David Yankee, Tyler Benoit, Matt Evans. Going into the turn, David Yankee's going to drift up the track, and David Yankee is eliminated, which is a shame for the unsponsored ride, but he's had a great run so far. Doing a great job for himself to stay in for this long. We look back. David Yankee is on the outside lane, getting passed by Julian Kenablez Jr., and there is Justin Benoit as well. As they head down the back straightaway. Now, David Yankee, we're not sure what he's going to do, if he's going to go for eliminations or if he's going to go just for the test lap. We have 3 wide, contact between Benoit and Kenablez Jr. Will anything happen? Let's see, it doesn't look like, wait, no, contact! David Yankee's going to get Justin Benoit clip. Julian Kenablez Jr. is going to go out despite having that great streak. And surprisingly, they're both going to save it and keep it off the top of the bankment as they both slide back onto the racetrack. Great driving work by Justin Benoit and Julian Kenablez Jr. keeping that car from wrecking. They don't have too many backups and they don't want to wreck what they have. So excellent driving ability on the snow for Justin Benoit especially, who was in his first start. We roll back to the front of the field. There is Matt Evans, car number 4. Running in second to Tyler Benoit. 4 car is a very strong race car. And that's why John Cedeno wanted him on this team. He had a feeling that Matt Evans could be one of those drivers to really boost the Cedeno Ed morale, as that team has been horribly struggling, especially last year where Russell Curry was their only driver to get wins. Robert DeFrank has been released from the team, and we have reports that Robert DeFrank from the Cedeno Ed team is going to run a partial schedule for Gastic Engineering Incorporated in place of Munim Peskic for that 3-race stint. So we'll see him back for those races. As car number 4, Matt Evans, falls second to Tyler Benoit this round. We'll see them in the next round along with another driver. Only 3 drivers on track now, and one of them is Dylan Ogo, the other Ogo brother. So we'll have to see how Dylan Ogo does. Now, I don't know much about Dylan Ogo. I've seen Austin Ogo in the Rallycross series where he's had an okay season. But Dylan Ogo driving the number 95 Pepsi Next Ford has a very, very unique paint scheme. It's kind of got a lot of the waves and the various colors. Very good paint scheme. I don't know how well he's going to be running on track as you see Matt Evans and Tyler Benoit battling it out. And whoa, Tyler Benoit almost goes off the track, and you can see the animosity between Matt Evans and Tyler Benoit on track. But then there's Dylan Ogo, who's keeping pace with these two. Might be able to try something if he can get close enough, but he's going to lose in the turn just as I say that. An old announcer curse is going to kind of put him back slightly. But Dylan Ogo, one of our fresh-faced new rookies that are in the sport this year, going to be attempting Bristol. We'll have to see if he makes it. There's so many drivers attempting Bristol. A couple are going to be left heartbroken, but there is a good thing. For those who do not make the race, we are introducing a new thing called the Qualifier Race Championship, which basically everyone who participates in a qualifier race will be on a separate point system, and whoever has the most points in that by the end of the year gets a minor award. It's kind of like a Nationwide Series trophy, only it's for failing to qualify for a race. So, therefore, drivers that don't make the race will not necessarily go away with nothing. Also, the winner of the championship will be locked in for next season at Bristol. Now we look at Tyler Benoit, car number 3. He's starting to pull ahead of Matt Evans by a good duration as they go into the first turn. Dylan Ogo starting to make a pass on Matt Evans as Tyler Benoit really showing how impressive this number 3 machine is, despite the fact that the rest of the Benoit Motorsports cars went out of the race. Benoit Motorsports, they make a great car. They've just had some bad luck. They've had drivers that really couldn't drive their equipment too well, like Max Skinner and Adam Dunlap, both of which were released from their teams early. He's hoping that his family will not do anything similar to that they can make all the races. Here we go, Tyler Benoit crosses the line for the final lap of this round. Matt Evans is not going to be able to catch up to him unless Tyler Benoit really slows down, so it looks like Tyler Benoit might be safe unless he runs himself off the track, which is a little unlikely. We haven't seen too much of that. Matt Evans starting to catch up a little bit, but not too much. Dylan Ogo doesn't seem to be racing Matt Evans too hard, so they might just be playing it safe. While we approach the end of this lap and the beginning of the next round, we will add one more driver to the event, and there's not many drivers left. Only 4 to go. Bob Ciadino, car number 04. Now there's only 4 to go after the 04 car, I should say. Sorry. But Bob Ciadino, car number 04, a 3-time winner in this sport, but has not won since 2011. The 2012 season was not particularly good to him. He had a lot of struggle. He's hoping that he can turn around for 2015. Whoa! Oh my God, I can't believe both of them saved it. Bob Ciadino and Tyler Benoit almost wrecked each other right there on the turn, but somehow they both saved it, and unless someone tops it, I'm going to call that save of the race. Those two were pretty much wrecked, and I thought we were going to see a double elimination. But both cars still on track. Car number 3 is going to pull in line right behind Dylan Ogo. And all 4 of these drivers on track are part of a racing family, as we have a lot of racing families in the Utica Home Track Series. Bob Ciadino from the Ciadino clan, Tyler Benoit, the youngest of the Benoits, Dylan Ogo, the brother to Austin Ogo from the Bobby Ogo bunch, and then there is Matt Evans. We saw that Neil Evans was out earlier in the event on a separate team with a separate manufacturer. So here we go. Bob Ciadino really trying to turn things around in the Price Chopper Chevy as we head into a new year. They've worked on their equipment a bit, hoping to make that a little better. Teammate and wife Michelle Ciadino went out earlier in the event, but unfortunately had a violent wreck with Oku Yamadea. Now near the front, there's that battle again between Benoit and Evans. 2 friends, have been friends for a very long time, since grade school. And now they're on the track dueling each other as rivals. This should be a very interesting race if they can both keep it going. As Matt Evans chooses to take the high side and Tyler Benoit takes the low end. As they head around the turns. Now this is kind of dodgy when it's dodgy enough running 1 wide, but 2 wide could also lead to troubles. Matt Evans is going to get the short end of the stick there as he almost goes off course. But not too short of a stick as Matt Evans is catching up. He's going to make contact with the bumper of Tyler Benoit, try to throw him off. It's not going to work. But he crosses over to the outside, see if he can make the pass. Now, the outside lane is not one of the best lanes you could have, as it makes it easier for you to be thrown off the racing surface. The inside lane seems to be a little better, as it's much harder to turn the car inside than it is outside. Though we've seen cars get eliminated that were on the inside of another driver, so it's not completely foolproof. As they head down to the end there, it looks like all 4 of these drivers are going to survive this round, and we will add one more driver to the mix. There is Colin Bartel, who I have never seen before in my life. He's signed up for this year. He's running for Rookie of the Year, and he's driving that number 99 Mopar Dodge for his own team. Here we go, he battles to the inside, he's running low. As they go into the turn, there's 3 wide. Oh, close to 3 wide, but it's going to still with on elimination. Matt Evans, car number 4, who was running so well in previous rounds, is going to get eliminated here. And that is a shame. Matt Evans had a great car, a car that could probably have won this. But sadly, it looks like the Cedino Ed Motorsports Group is not going to be able to win. But for Bartel Motorsports, Ogo Motorsports, Bob Cedino Racing, Benoit Motorsports, and then the 3 other teams that are still in contention that have yet to go out on track yet, the hopes of winning are still there. As Dylan Ogo tries to make a pass underneath Bob Cedino, it's not going to work. Now, Dylan Ogo running in 3rd position right now, as Bob Cedino has really improved from the last round. He's running up there in 2nd place. Trying to contend with Todd Benoit, but Benoit's just a little too fast, so it's going to be a battle between him and Dylan Ogo. As Dylan Ogo makes a pass underneath, now Matt Evans running for speed here. I'm not sure if he's going to try to eliminate anyone, or if he's just going to play it safe and just make some laps. Colin Bartel seems to have fallen back a bit, as this is a pretty decent battle on track right now, as Bob Cedino gets flung to the outside, but it's not going to stay there. Matt Evans, the car on the inside lane, he's going to be the wild card here. Matt Evans could be the one that changes everything. Here we go, 3 wide racing, contact. Dylan Ogo and Matt Evans almost sends Bob Cedino off the course, but he stays on, and Colin Bartel is watching all this from behind and worried. He's ready to, just in case the car goes spinning in his direction. He does not want to be caught up in it. As Dylan Ogo runs to the outside of the track, and Bob Cedino, I must mention, has had a very perilous run in these 2 rounds he's been in so far. Last round he almost wrecks himself, and here he's almost getting wrecked and is riding the outside of the track. Very, very precarious driving by Bob Cedino, but it's currently getting the job done. He's still on track. Matt Evans is low. Dylan Ogo is a little slow. Bob Cedino is running in. 3 wide. Contact. Bob Cedino and Dylan Ogo are going to go off the track. Matt Evans is also going to join them, and ooh! Air for the number 95 in the 4 car. And both of them are going to go out of the race. And Tyler Benoit, who was on the last lap of the round, is going to head toward the line along with Colin Bartel and Bob Cedino, but Bob Cedino is out, so Bartel and Benoit make it through. The others don't. Let's see who joins the group. Now, here is the mysterious Prudence Littlejohn. We know very little about her. All we know is that she came to the track. She's very shy. She has not done any interviews and has kind of kept herself. I've never even heard her speak a word. And also, she completely built this race car. This is the Little Inferno Tomorrow Corporation Toyota. She manufactured this car together. She is the only member of a team for this race. She's running with no spotter and no crew chief and no pit crew. They're a little worried on how that will work in the actual season, because you need to have pit stops. But they may force her to hire a pit crew if need be. Now this number, we got elimination. Colin Bartel. He's going to run a little too wide and go off track. Unfortunate for Bartel. Now anyway, this car is a very spooky looking vehicle. A lot of fire, a lot of oddness to it. And I think some people really like the car. I think I saw Billy Bishop earlier in the day running up to the 79 car and just warming up next to it because of the fire there. But it's obviously not real fire, so it obviously did not do Bishop much good. Now, Colin Bartel running in 2nd place is still very far ahead of Prudence Littlejohn, who's running a very underpowered machine. Unfortunately, Bartel's not going to be in the next round. He is going to go out of the race. But Colin Bartel's going to make some practice laps. He doesn't have much experience with these types of cars, so we'll have to see how he can handle the Bristol racetrack. He is not locked in for that race, along with many other drivers, along with Prudence Littlejohn, who just joined us. But we'll have to, I've been saying a lot, but we'll have to see. We don't really know until the event happens. And Tyler Benoit has got a huge lead over Bartel, and Littlejohn is barely any competition, as Tyler Benoit is just running away with this round. Bartel's not on the same technical standpoint as Benoit, and Littlejohn barely has a technical standpoint. But she could play out to be another Jeff Evans from earlier in the event, who had a slow car but was staying in because that car was trailing behind the rest of them. So you don't know, Prudence Littlejohn is not going to be going fast enough to overshoot the racetrack. Well, she might just be able to hang out near the back and make it to the end, which will be helpful until the final round, where she actually has to win the race. For the 79 car, attempting Bristol in a very limited schedule. This is a very low-flying team. She's running Bristol, Darlington, and Myrtle Beach as of so far. There might be plans to run some other American short tracks. As we cross the line and end the round, we have one more to the race. Here is Alex Tanker from Tanker Motorsports, and with him going on track, there's only one driver left, and they will be debuting in the final round, which will be 12 laps. I'm not going to disclose who it is, but if you've been paying close attention to the cars that have gone out, you may be able, by process of elimination, to find out who it is. Now, this is a completely different car for Alex Tanker than last year. This is the falling in reverse car with a really new paint scheme. The purple and black car, and it's very cool, but very hard to read the numbers on this thing. Cameras are having trouble. Good thing we know that he's the 34 car, or else no one would know it. And this car seems to complement that 79 car right in front of it very well. Both have that kind of spooky tone to them. But Alex Tanker, a previous winner in the Utica Track Series, the winner at Talladega last year, the 44 car. Brock McMahon is driving that car now. We'll have to see how Alex Tanker does in the 34 car. And unlike Prudence Littlejohn, he is locked in to Bristol. So it'll be guaranteed that we're going to see Alex Tanker there racing. Now Alex Tanker, the two-car team. McMahon came out earlier and he was eliminated. So Tanker is going to be the last chance to win it. Now Prudence Littlejohn, car number 79, running a little better than last round, is currently beating Alex Tanker in the 34 car. And Alex Tanker has a better tech department, so I'm not sure what Littlejohn did between the rounds, as we're not really sure where she goes when she's not on track. But the 79 car running a little better. Still not on par with Tyler Benoit, but running very well so far. And my God, that car is terrifying. It's a little Inferno car. It was a game that came out late 2012, and it had a very creepy overtone to it. And that is the car that's currently on track for the 79. Now Tyler Benoit, seems like this is going to be in the bag unless that last driver has anything to say about it, as Prudence Littlejohn and Alex Tanker are absolutely no competition for the number 3 machine. And this is one of the best cars in the league, so Benoit could be getting 5 bonus points for his championship run, which is part of the prize for winning the Royal Rumble. The other is obviously a cash prize, which all the teams are sought after. As we head around, I believe this is the final lap. Yes, it is. As Tyler Benoit is going to be heading to the line, we're going to say next round is the 12-lap shootout. For the finish, we introduce the last driver, and the winner after 12 laps, without being eliminated, will be the winner of your Royal Rumble. We cross the line. Let's meet our final driver to go out today. It is our second place in points from last year, Maria Camiso, car number 26, driving the familiar 84 Lumber Ford. As this machine has been very good for her. It's won her a good amount of races, 3, which is in a 4-way tie for second place. Now this 84 Lumber car is not going to be running all the races. She's going to be running a Mountain Dew car for the majority of them. She'll be running this number 26 at tracks she has won at, which will be Darlington, Laguna Seca, and Sonoma. However, the 26 car was the 84 Mamba machine was brought up here today, and that is a very standard looking car. As whoa, we almost have 4 wide there in contact between Alex Tanker and Tyler Benoit. As Tyler Benoit is the leader in this segment at the moment. Now this one, leading does count, because the leader at the end is going to be your winner unless that leader has been eliminated sometime during the event. So far, no eliminations. As whoa, we had something close as Prunes Littlejohn almost turns around Maria Camiso. I also want to mention that we have a battle of the manufacturers again for the finale. We have Tyler Benoit in a Chevy, Maria Camiso in a Ford, Alex Tanker in a Dodge, and Prunes Littlejohn in a Toyota. The only manufacturer not present is a Pontiac, but so far no one is currently running a Pontiac. The only one that might would be Bartolo Milano if he attempts Monza later in the season. At the current moment, there's no plans for Bartolo Milano coming back. There is the 26 of Maria Camiso catching up to Tyler Benoit. Car number 3 is going to slide to the outside, and Maria Camiso peeks her way in underneath. Now, this car is running with the same technical manufacturing that the 28 car Jamie Murphy was running, which was the championship winning car. And this car was in second, so LeGray Racing, having one of the best setups, they're running 2 cars this year as David Creedon was released from the team to save funds. They will be running 1 car in a very limited schedule. Shelby LeGray's slated to run at Darlington, but not anything else at the moment. We'll have to see what the 28S, which is the ride they picked, is going to do. As we have a battle in the front, Maria Camiso takes the lead, but Tyler Benoit sneaking back on the inside. They head across the line. Tyler Benoit really working hard underneath the 26 car. You see Tanker and Littlejohn battling a little further back. I also need to mention that this is also kind of a battle of the genders. We had Tyler Benoit and Alex Tanker for the males, and Maria Camiso and Prudence Littlejohn for the females. So it's a battle of manufacturers, gender, and everything on track. Also a battle between just very spirited competitors. As Camiso has been very competitive in events, Benoit's been really trying hard to win events. Littlejohn tried to make it into Myrtle Beach, but ended up wrecking, and Alex Tanker, who is a little rougher of a driver in comparison to others on the track, as we're focused on him now. The 34 car seems to be losing the top 2. Prince Littlejohn still falling close behind, but neither of these cars look like they're technologically suitable to compete against them. Now they're hoping that the 3 and the 26 wreck each other and eliminate each other so that they can sneak up and take away the victory. But right now, both Camiso and Benoit are on track, and they are going at it. Tyler Benoit running close behind the number 26 machine, trying to make a move. Now, Camiso's been really good everywhere on the track. Benoit's been better on the inside line. The outside's been really tripping him up all event long, as Maria Camiso trying to throw the block on the number 3 car. It can be safe to say that Tanker and Littlejohn are pretty much out of this unless these 2 wreck. As Camiso slips up a little bit, gives a little room to Benoit on the inside, and Benoit's going to take advantage as he goes underneath, battling with Camiso. But Camiso's got a strong car and is great on the outside. Can she keep it, or will she lose that momentum? Here we go, they battle out of the turn. Very close call from Maria Camiso. Tyler Benoit does not, I don't think he wants to risk trying to eliminate the 26 car, as it could eliminate himself and ruin his race. Tyler Benoit is going to have it though, as Maria Camiso is going to lose it a little bit. But not too much. That number 26 car got some momentum off that somehow, trying to pass to the outside, which was a very risky move. Tyler Benoit swerving back and forth, trying to make sure trying to fake the 26 car out, but she is staying solid as the 26 car races to the outside. Very risky move by Maria Camiso, but if it can work, it will be amazing. But it doesn't seem so. Tyler Benoit's going to throw the block and get ahead of the 26, but the 26 tries again. It has some speed. Can she do it? No, slides up the track. But wait a second, will she get that momentum again? Yes, she's somehow getting momentum off that turn and is going to rocket past the number 3 car. Here we go. This is exciting. Car number 26 with the lead. The 3 car following very close behind. It's a 2-car battle. Tanker is sketching up a little bit, but not too much. Here we go. Benoit tries to the inside again where he's running the best. But remember, Camiso is very strong on the outside line. Here we go. Two-car battle. Coming out of the turn, Maria Camiso is going to slingshot ahead once again. And Tyler Benoit's going to fall into line. Tyler Benoit has to find some way to nudge that number 26 car out of the lead again. Here we go as they exit turn 2. Maria Camiso with the lead. Tyler Benoit trying to catch up, but is starting to lose some ground on that straightaway. He's going to have to really pick that up. Tanker and Little John have lost ground even more so. What they've gained has been shattered as they've stopped battling. Once these two cars stop battling, then they are really quick. As Maria Camiso, for her final lap, this is the 12th lap, is currently in the lead. Tyler Benoit only has one more lap to try and take the win away. Can he do it? He pulls to the inside, but a little hesitant. It's not going to work and he loses a little ground. He's trying to catch up as much as he can, but it doesn't seem to be going well for him. Final turn, last attempt. It doesn't look like Tyler Benoit can get it. Maria Camiso is going to expand that gap. And along with that, she will be getting 5 bonus points for her championship run, as Maria Camiso is your winner here at the Royal Rumble. Congratulations to Maria Camiso and the Gray Racing team who have put together a great race car, which has won the event. And unfortunately for Tyler Benoit, who's been really trying and had to work through all these rounds, he's not going to get anything out of it as the race is over. Now, I would like to see you again at the Bristol race, which will be coming up next. This will be the first points race of the season. So, hope to see you there. Thank you for joining us for the Royal Rumble here in Nome, Alaska. I will see you next time, but first, a breaking update.